everybody, welcome back to my channel, Baked with Love. My name is Heather, and today I am going to be making marshmallow cereal bars or Rice Krispie squares. So I have is the holiday edition of the Rice Krispies. So the box is already split open because I wanted the recipe because I always forget how much butter. I can't remember if it's a quarter cup or half a cup. So I already opened the box. I've got my marshmallows, so I got the mini regular white ones, and I have the mini colored ones. And the reason I have the colored ones is because when my kids were little, I didn't buy Rice Krispies, so I used to buy just all the other cereals. So that's why I make the marshmallow cereal bars. And I used to make them with Fruit Loops or Lucky Charms, and so I always found the colored marshmallows just made a nicer color consistency. But what I'm going to make is I found these ones. This is the Kellogg's Elf on a Shelf cereal. So I'm going to make some of these marshmallow squares with these. And I also found the Captain Crunch holiday version too. So it's got the little red and green stars and snowmen and trees and stuff. So that's what I'm going to make. So I'm just going to stop for a second and turn my camera around to the stove so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so to make this you need a quarter of a cup of butter. I'm just going to scrape it out. And I got to get this, I'll turn my stove on here. I got to melt this. I'm going to melt the butter and then add the marshmallows and melt the marshmallows. I'm just going to, so it's a quarter cup of butter, 250 grams of mini marshmallows, and about 6 cups of the cereal. I'm just trying to get this to come off of here. Okay, so I'm just going to melt the butter, and I'm just going to grab the mini marshmallows. So I'm going to use half a bag because I'm going to make 2 batches. I'm going to make one with the Captain Crunch and one with the Elf on the Shelf cereal. I'm just waiting for the butter to melt. It's almost melted. It doesn't take long to melt butter. Now I will say melting the butter and the marshmallows, it's best to use a metal or wooden utensil because the butter gets pretty hot. It's a little too high. And one year I had, when my girls were little and I was making this, I made it with a whisk, which I may have that whisk still somewhere in my kitchen. And I didn't notice till I was washing the dishes, but I had actually melted the whisk, making the cereal treats for them. So I'm always just careful not to use anything that can't withstand high heat. So I'm going to dump in about half this bag. I'm just going to melt these. And while I'm waiting for these to melt, I'm going to actually just go and spray my pans because I haven't sprayed my pans yet. I'm just using a little bit of cooking spray. Spray that pan and spray this pan. For this to melt. These are like a very fast, easy recipe. Now it says 6 cups of cereal, but because I'm not quite using the full thing of marshmallows, I'm just going to put in about 4 cups of cereal. I kind of like more marshmallow, less cereal. Waiting for that to waiting for the marshmallows to finish melting here. Oh, the cereal. I really liked using the colored marshmallows. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but see, the marshmallows in recent years, these colored ones, haven't been as vibrant as they used to be. So they're now using more natural coloring things. So they kind of just, I don't know. I think I kind of like some of the artificial colors because it gives you the really bright colors. Now these have all melted. It kind of gets this, it's like a pinky color. So I'm going to take this off the heat. I'm going to move it over, dump in the cereal. Just get this all mixed in. Going to grab my pot from grease sheet here, or cookie baking dish. Just going to add this in. Like that. I'm just going to grab the cooking spray. I'm just going to spray my hands just a little, just so I can press it into place. A little more. Press this into place. I'm going to do the exact same for the other one. It's a very messy job, but it's fun. Set that one aside, and I'm just going to do the same with the other one. Grab my pot again, and I'm just going to grab another 1/4 cup of the butter. So be careful because now my hand is all covered in marshmallow. A metal spoon just so I can get this out of here. I'm gonna make the other Rice Krispie treats later. I have somewhere I actually have the those 3D Rice Krispie shapes for Christmas. I got them, I don't know how many years ago. You know, you had to buy, I think you're supposed to buy this packs and you would get them in the boxes of cereal, I believe. I never did that because I didn't buy, very rarely do I buy brand name cereals. But over the years, I was able to find them, you know, like secondhand shops or garage sales. So I've got those 3D shapes, so I'll be making in a little bit, making the Rice Krispies treats with those 3D shapes. I know what I'm trying to say, I'm just having trouble saying it. Okay, just gonna get these all melted in here. I like it when you get the marshmallows that weren't cut. You get this huge, long chunk. Those are always the bonus marshmallows to find as a kid. Okay, so while that's melting, I'm going to measure out again. I'm going to use 4 cups of, this is like Captain Crunch. I don't know if anybody gets Captain Crunch in any other countries. This package says it's made in Canada, so, but I know down in the States, I always see them bragging about how many different types of other cereals they get, or Oreo cookies. We just have a couple basic ones, and they seem to always get all these really fancy sounding ones. Some of them I don't know if they taste very good, but sound interesting. Again, I use less of these type of cereal versus the Rice Krispies, only because these cereal pieces are bigger and more dense too. So I do turn this down. they're just bigger pieces of cereal, so I just use a little bit less. I also like to, when I've got the bigger cereals like this, I also like to not quite melt the marshmallows completely. I like having some of the bigger chunks of marshmallow. Turn this heat off before I burn myself. Stir the cereal in. Grab my pan over here. Same thing. I'm just going to pour it into the pan. These will just take just a few minutes to make. They're very quick and easy, and they taste good. Just 3 basic ingredients, and you've got a really nice dessert. So I'll put these in the fridge, and they take probably maybe about 4 hours, I don't know, 3-4 hours, or overnight. These ones, I do sometimes put things in the freezer to fast chill. These types of stuff I don't. Maybe you can, I don't know. But so there's the one with the Holiday Captain Crunch, and the stove is still on. And there's the Elf on the Shelf one. So there's these two, and I will be back to show you when they're done. Also, I'll be back to show you when they're done and how I cut them. I'll also be back to show you how to make the Rice Krispie treats in the 3D shapes. So I'll be back shortly. Alright, so after finding them and washing them, I've got another one. I have the Bell. I remembered why I don't like to use these. They are such a pain to make. You've got to make one, and then you've got to give it a few minutes to set before you can take it out. So it takes forever to use these. So instead, I'm going to just make my pan of Rice Krispie squares, and I'm just going to use my cookie cutters and cut them out. So I'm just going to turn this camera down so you can see. I'm just going to make another thing. Oops. Would not be good. Just going to make another batch of my Rice Krispie squares. This time I am just going to be using just the regular white mini marshmallows and the regular Rice Krispies. Well, this is the Christmas holiday edition, so they've got the red and green bits. So I'm just melting my 1/4 cup of butter here. Now, because I'm going to make these into like on a cookie sheet, you actually want more cereal, because I want to cut them out. So I actually want more cereal to marshmallow ratio. So I'll figure that out as I add everything, how much cereal I use to the marshmallows. So I'm going to dump in the whole bag. This is a 400-gram bag. These are all melted. Now the basic recipe is 250 grams, so I'm almost doubling the recipe. But it just, I want to make a whole bunch of these. These are always fun to, for the kids to eat, all year. Not just for Christmas, but, so I bought these holiday ones. Now, a couple weeks ago, I was with my daughter. We were just getting groceries, and I saw they had brought out the Rice Krispie Holiday Edition and the Elf on the Shelf, and they were just sitting on an end display, and they weren't priced. And I put them in the cart. I was gonna, put them in the cart, and I was gonna go find the price checker because I don't spend a lot of money on cereal. So I don't know. We did our grocery shopping, and I put them up on the conveyor belt, and I've paid, and I don't even know what I bought. I had to buy a couple $100 worth of groceries, and so I'm leaving the store. I'm pricing out my thing. Oh, just 1 minute. Sorry about that. No, just my daughter. We bought a couple $100 worth of groceries, and I've just paid, and I'm walking, between the till and the door, and I always stop to just double check the price on everything I paid. And so the two cereals, one of the cereals was $6, you know, $5.99, and the other one was $6.49. So I do not pay, you know, like $6, $7 for a thing of cereal. So my daughter said asked if I was gonna stop and go and take them back and get my money back, and I said no, it's okay. I said it's Christmas, it'll be part of my Christmas baking and gift giving cereal bars that I'll be making. Got marshmallows all melted. I'm just going to measure out my Rice Krispies. I'm not quite sure. I know the recipe says it takes 6 cups. So I'm just going to measure in 4. I always find it easier just to stir it in and actually do the cereal in half batches. So you can tell that that's not enough cereal. I mean, that's a really nice, like, there are times when I really love the extra marshmallow and less cereal. But for what I'm making, I actually need it reversed, so I'll probably end up using another 4 cups, so probably 8 cups. I think last time I made them, I believe it's about 12 cups of cereal is what you get in a bag of, or a box of Rice Krispies. There, that's what I want. You want where it's just, looks like you've got not enough marshmallow to coat everything. This is what makes it a lot easier to do the shaping. So my next step, I will be just putting this on a prepared cookie sheet, which I just have to reach across to grab. My cookie sheet, I forgot to spray it. I'm just going to quickly do that now. You can also line this with wax paper, parchment paper, cling wrap, anything to make it easier to get the Rice Krispie squares out. I'm using this edge of where my stove is, so I'm just going to move a few things out of the way. I'm just going to, do not touch the bottom of the pan. Okay, just going to do this, just spread this out so I get a nice thin sheet of Rice Krispie squares, because I want to cut these out with the cookie cutters. So I'm going to just pour this out, and I'm going to put this in the fridge for about 10 or so minutes, just so that it's kind of a little bit cooled down and a little more easier to work with. So I'm just going to press this down and flatten it out. And I will be back when I'm ready to cut these into the shapes with the cookie cutter. Alright, so they're cold to the touch. So I can start to cut these out. Just set this aside for a second. So what I actually have is I've got these 10 star-shaped cookie cutters I've had for a long time. And you make them, you cut them out, you stack them, and you get the Christmas tree. So I decided I'm going to turn this into a Christmas tree. And I was playing around with the cookie cutters just on the other cookie sheet. I can't fit the largest one, but I can do the other 9. So that's all I'm going to do. So I'm just going to lay this here, and this one here, just so I can get this, got it there, so I can move the cookie cutters from the one pan onto this pan, and I'll know exactly how they will fit. So it goes about here. Get this one up here. This is not gonna, it's not going to go all the way through, because I can tell because it's actually thicker than the cookie cutters. But I just want to get this nice pattern here. just want to get the general shape. I'm just pushing these down as far as I can. And I'm keeping the cookie cutters in place just while I get the rest done. Fit in there. If I just keep the other cookie cutters in place, then it just kind of helped me get these ones all cut out. And then, oops, I don't know, something happened. Can't seem to get that one to fit in. Might just be the way this one kind of pushed down. Yeah, see, there is enough room there. I just can't get it between the cookie cutters themselves. So I'm just going to push this in and then lift this up. I'll see if I got the shape. I'll lift this one up, so I got that shape. I gotta lift this one up, and now I can fit this one in. Right there. And that one. I can see exactly where I need to cut these out a little more. These ones in just a little further just to get a little bit more indentation. There, and this last one. Now I'm just going to grab my knife and I'm just going to go around each of those. I had an idea of what I wanted to make, and this is one of those things, you're baking or crafting or whatever, and you've got an idea and it just kind of change your mind while you're doing it. So I'm just going to cut around all of these star shapes, and I'm leaving the stars in, but I'm going to remove all the extra Rice Krispie pieces. Because these doesn't really matter, they'll just be extra little pieces. I will reshape them into another pan too. And this way I will get all the star pattern pieces cut out, and they can stay on this pan for a few more hours to harden. So when I get all my pieces all cut out, and I've had the 3 or so hours of it being in the fridge, then I'll come back and I'll show you what all the Rice Krispie cereal bars will look like. All right, welcome back. I've got this nice little cake stand here. It looks like Santa. And I found this parchment paper at Dollarama for $1.50. It says you get 8 sheets, and they showed this gold stars on it. It looks like, I think it's like half of them are gold, half of them are plain. I don't know, I've got a bunch of gold stars and I got a plain one, so I'm not quite sure if that was a mistake to get this plain one or how many plain ones and how many of these ones I get. I'm just going to fold this in half just to place it on the tray, because this is the Rice Krispie squares that I cut into the stars using this cookie cutter set. I'm just keeping the cookie cutters on top so I know which is the largest, so which one goes first. I'm going to make my little Rice Krispie treat Christmas tree. So I said I was able to figure out how to get 9 on the pan out of one, rolled it out, pushed it down, I got 9. And then I took all the cut pieces and I was able to make the 10th one plus a small little dish of some extras. I just got to grab my scoop, or my little cookie scoop, because I left it on the other counter. Just 1 second. Okay, so I wasn't quite sure how easy this is going to be to lift these up off the tray. Just move my camera down so you can see. So they are now stuck to this pan. There. So there's the first one. And then the next largest one. This one or this one? Okay, that's this one here. So I said I kind of kept the cookie cutters on top because it was kind of tricky to tell which would be the next one. So you kind of just off space these, like so you've got the one laying like this, then your next one you just tip it so the points go between, and then the next one I'm just kind of stacking these up to make it look like a Rice Krispie Christmas tree. That's all I'm going to keep doing. Oops. Some of these are not stuck to the pan as much as other ones are. These two, which one? This is the next one. And then this one, getting a nice, let's see, just move this pan over. I'll move this so you can see how it's coming. How as every layer stacks up, I'm getting this really nice looking tree. This last one on this pan, I had them sorted out and then I kind of just forgot the order. Then this one. And then this one and the very last one. So there we go. So now I've got a Rice Krispie Christmas tree. We'll be making these cookies later in a couple days. I really want to make the shortbread Christmas tree cookie. There's that one. So now I'm just going to set this aside and show you the other cereal bars that I have been able to make. I'm just going to pop this out of the pan. So this is the extra bits of these Rice Krispie treats. Again, I left my knife over by the sink. Sorry, I had everything out in front of me, and then when I went to stand up my camera, I moved things to the other counter. And then I forgot to bring them back. Okay, so this is this little one. So I'm just gonna cut these into some squares here. So these are just the regular little Rice Krispie squares. Like that. Set these just on this pan right beside me, and then I will grab out the other ones I had made. Just make the little crumbs out of the way. So now these ones here, if I can pop these out. Oh, I cannot get them out of the pan. Spray the pan, but sometimes you just can't lift it. It doesn't want to come out. So I'm just going to cut this in. I'm going to grab a smaller knife. Okay, grabbing a smaller knife so I can see what these ones look like. This is the Elf on the Shelf cereal ones. Just going to cut them out. Sometimes they come out nicely, sometimes they're a little bit harder to get out of the pan. So it just depends on how well you spray the pan and just how the marshmallows just melt and stick. There we go. So there is what the Elf on the Shelf marshmallow cereal square looks like. And I will do the same with this is the Captain Crunch holiday one. Let's see. I'm not going to be able to get that out at the moment. Sometimes you have to cut your first couple in the pan, and then you can get the scoop in or a fork in underneath and start getting them out. which is why I like to put my Rice Krispie squares in the glass pan versus a metal pan, so at least I can cut it with a knife. Okay, again, just trying to get the first one out is always the hardest, but there is the Captain Crunch holiday cereal, marshmallow cereal bar. There's that one. And then there was that one, and then the regular Rice Krispie, and of course the Rice Krispie tree. Okay, so that is how I take just any type of cereal and marshmallows and turn them into any type of cereal bars. So you don't have to just use Rice Krispies and white marshmallows. You can use any cereal. You can use white marshmallows. You can use the colored marshmallows. I like to use both. You can add other things to these, like I didn't this time, like this one here. This was the Elf on the Shelf one. It actually has the little mini marshmallows in here. So that's going to be an interesting treat to get a little crunchy marshmallow in with the other marshmallows. All the other ones were just the regular, Rice Krispies and marshmallows, and this of course was the holiday Captain Crunch. So these two I made with the colored marshmallows, and this one regular ones I made with the white marshmallows. So again, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's watching and enjoying my channel and my videos, and I will see everybody in my next video. Bye.